baddest. And whoever tell you different, they was capping. I know whoever slept on you couldn't manage. That's cause you inside a different type of bag.
Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Gabrielle, and today I'm going to be doing a hair install video, and these are crochet braids from Eayonhair. So this is my braid pattern. Halfway through are individual braids that are connected to each other, and the back are just regular cornrows. So in this video I'm just really going to be walking y'all through the entire process and getting into the details, and also let's catch up because I really haven't talked on here in such a long time. So let's get into it. So the only two things you need are the crochet latch and the braids. First, you're going to stick the crochet needle through your actual braid with the crochet latch open. Then put the loop of the braid extension on the hook, close the latch, and pull the braid through. After that, you hook the end of the braid onto the loop and pull the braid all the way through to the other side. Then you can just tighten the braid to your roots to secure it. And that's literally the process over and over and over again. The only little inconvenience that I made for myself was just taking the needle out before pulling through the rest of the braid. But you'll see later in the video that I ended up making it easier for myself, but I just needed to get a hang of it. So to get into the cornrow details, I had a total of 12 cornrows, and like I said in the beginning, the first half of my head are individual braids attached to one another, and then the back are just regular cornrows. So for the individual braids, you want to just make them boxes. I think the most that I had towards the center of my head was maybe like 5 boxes per row, and then towards the end it was like 2 or 3. After connecting all the individual braids, and once I got to the back, I just started making them individual cornrows, and I kind of just did a braid pattern similar to when you're getting a sew-in or how they do wigs. So I connected all the braids together, and then I just tucked the braid in. I didn't sew it down or anything because I wasn't keeping this hairstyle in for a long time, but if you plan on keeping it in for a long time, then I would recommend sewing the end braid that connects everything together. One thing I did want to mention was being careful with the loose hair because sometimes it did get a little tangled pulling it through, and also make sure that you're crocheting under instead of over so that the braids can lay flat. The order came with 3 packs of hair, and each pack of hair had 40 braids, so in total it was 120 braids. I would say I used about 1.5 packs for the front, and then the rest of the hair was used in the back, but in the back you kind of have a little leeway of how you place the braids because the loose hair covers your cornrows pretty well. Okay, so now that we got all the details out the way, like I said, let's catch up. So your girl graduated from college. I have a degree now. She got a degree. And all I can say is that it has been such a relief. Like, I'm so happy that that stage of my life is over. Of course, I'm still gonna go back to school, but I'm just so happy that undergrad has been completed. So, girl, I wish I would have told me, I wish I would have told me that after graduation feels like this. Like, I just have so much freedom. I have yet to take my graduation photos though, but I'll probably get it done pretty soon, like around my birthday. But back to this hair. So this is what it's looking like once I put 20 braids in. So it's really cute, and I'm not gonna lie, I was having my doubts, but it started turning out pretty cute. Okay, but let's talk about content. So I haven't really been posting YouTube videos like that. I've really been on TikTok, so if you're not following me on TikTok yet, this is the perfect time to pause the video and check out my TikTok. But the girls have been on TikTok, and it's crazy because now apparently TikTok may or may not get banned, but please not yet, because I'm finally seeing like a lot of growth and just a lot of engagement. The growth is still coming, but the engagement has been, you know, popping off a little bit on TikTok, and I've been really excited about that. But honestly, I think I'd really give credit due to the quality of my content improving. Like, y'all are getting some really good clips, and I've had a blast, like such a good time, like filming all of this stuff and really getting into editing and just making things look more crisp and clean. And on top of that, doing all of this on an iPhone camera. And it is crazy because while I was editing this video, I heard a knock at the door, and guess what it was? 3 months later, after ordering my camera for my graduation gift, it finally came. And guess what camera it is? The Canon G7X Mark II. Like, I'm in there. Influencer who? Influencer who? I hate that I'm even saying influencer because I hate referring to myself as an influencer. I'm a content creator. But still, like, I'm in that bag, y'all. And can't nobody tell me nothing. But I will definitely be posting tips and tricks on how to get this far with just only your camera. And y'all, mind you, this was the 11 Pro. Like, I didn't get my 15 Pro until just recently. But yes, I've been filming everything on my 11 Pro for years now. And I know all my content girlies can relate, but running out of storage used to eat me up every single time. And now I'm not gonna have that problem no more. Like, yes, SD card. Yeah. Okay, let me start being serious. But I'm just so super excited, and I'm just so thankful for all the people who have been rocking with me this far. I appreciate all the support. And back to this hair, as y'all can see, we're almost finished the front section. I think me a couple years ago would have been traumatized to have my edges looking like this on camera, but before I started recording, I literally just said forget it. Like, this is my hair coils up, and that's okay. And the more I'm doing content and the more I'm just filming myself and putting myself out there, the more I'm tired of the idea of having to be perfect 24/7. My face is not always going to look the prettiest in every single shot, especially when I'm concentrating hard. My hair is not always going to be slayed all the time, and that's okay. And even the conversation when it comes to Black women and our hair, like, I don't need to apologize for my Blackness. And until we find acceptance and beauty in the coily nature of our hair, we're never going to see any progress or any change when it comes to this conversation of Black women and our hair. Like, I can't tell y'all how many times I've had panic attacks in the morning when my hair is not done, and I just wish I had the freedom to just leave and just, you know, show up as me and not do all the extra stuff. But honestly, when it comes to content, being perfect never got me anywhere. And this is advice for people who want to start or have already started and you're just not seeing anything move, you're not seeing anything shape. And I'd urge you to kind of ask yourself, like, are you still hiding behind that mask of perfection? Like, I know it's completely tough and it's very scary to be vulnerable and to show yourself online. Like, girl, nobody wants to do it. But once you do cross that barrier, that's when you actually develop individuality. It's so important for you to stand out and not look like everybody else and a carbon copy of everyone else. Like, yes, you can be an aesthetic girly, and yes, you can be a baddie, but one thing I will say is that if you don't have the means to keep up with that constantly and over again, then it's going to be very hard to sustain that. And when you don't fall into that specific category, what do? You have to rely on creating community. And in my opinion, that is much beneficial and lasts in the long run. But brief intermission to talk about the back of this hair. So doing the same thing, and as y'all can see, I'm definitely getting a hang of it and just being able to work through it a lot quicker. But again, like I said earlier, you kind of have a little more leeway to space out these braids because the loose hair covers your braids pretty well. But back to what I was saying, it's like you can't be afraid to look dumb trying. And not even look dumb, I wouldn't call it dumb. I would just say, like, you can't be afraid for people to see you try. But I've been talking for about 9 minutes now, and I really don't have anything else to say, and I am tired of talking. So I can just vibe out, listen to the music, and I will be back once it's something to say about the hair. Okay, now we are almost through with being done with this hair, and like I was telling y'all, the loose hair really does a good job. Like, you can't even tell that I still need to put more braids in to cover my cornrows. And honestly, at this point, I thought 120 braids was too much, but it didn't look bad. It just looked very full, and it looked good once everything was put in. But just to tell you guys that 120 braids is more than enough hair. Here is the finished product, and it came out so cute. I would say it probably took me a total of 4 hours, 2 hours to install and then 2 hours for the cornrows. But this hairstyle really eats. I would say my honest opinion is that I didn't really like that on the side you can see the braids being attached to each other. Like, me personally, I love to see the individual boxes when I'm looking at people's box braids. And yes, the loose hair did a good job of hiding the cornrows in the back, but if you just turned your head a certain type of way, you will definitely be able to see the cornrow. But I think this is a super cute hairstyle if you want to save some money and you have somewhere to go for a quick little trip or something like that. But if you have any questions I didn't already answer, make sure you comment down below, and see you guys in the next video.